We're
narration is at least as important, if not more.
we're in our hotel room in Cordova. We're gonna look out the window here. The weather looks a little bit rough this morning. Looks a little gray. I think maybe it's real gray actually. We're gonna go to breakfast and fly out. We'll be back.
Real concrete weather report. Yeah.
This is a view of the front of our hotel here. There are some of the mountains in the background. Here's a native corporation of some kind here for the locals. Beautiful day. It's about 7:45 in the morning. We are this morning on Sunday morning. We're at the airport at Cordova. We'll take one of these planes out to about 100 miles or thereabouts. Land on the beach down there. These are some of the mountains that we're looking at. Just had a nice breakfast this morning, and we stopped and got some groceries and things, and now we're getting ready to head out. Get the plane loaded up here, and we'll be heading out to the Sayoo River. Here's a de Havilland Beaver on floats, one of my favorite airplanes. Something I've done some flying in. And this is the lake. And the mountains. Now we're taxiing down the highway here to the runway. That's the way they do things up here. Airplanes parked along the road. Give you a good view of the what's going on and looking for traffic. Mountain scenery around here. I'm doing a little filming for you there, Bob. To the left, you'll see a very active glacier. Alaska Wolf. Let me get my headset up here and try and talk to the camera on YouTube. I was here a few years ago. I was over at Katie and Tom's there. And there was a guy up here from home that was flying up here. His name was Jim Dill. Remember him? There's another glacier shot there. Yeah, we'll be seeing Tom and Katie at the end of the week. Going out on the water again for a week. And we're looking at some covered mountains here. This is the Copper River. The Copper River's about 15 miles wide right here. This is all glacier-fed water. You can tell by the color of the gray, very gray water. There's a glacier. This is all an ice field that is covered with dirt from the glacier. This is actually the biggest glacier in North America. It's the Bering Glacier. And these are all solid ice mountains here. There's the glacier in the background. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's a lot of territory, you know. They have a lot of weather changes too. Now there's the glacier going into the water. Probably see some cases, don't you, now and then that aren't too great.
We're going to be walking into the cabin. We saw some bear tracks, so Bruce is just in case. So there's the plane we landed. And here is the way to the cabin. We're going to be picking up the four-wheeler and coming back for all our baggage and hope that the bears haven't eaten the food that's in the cardboard box there. There's our pilot Jared getting back into the plane. On our way here, he got a radio message to the effect that there's an injured party at one of the lodges here, so he's going to pick him up and bring him back to Cordova. He has no idea the type or extent of the injury, but all they said was injured party. airborne in no time. Neither Bruce or I can believe the weather today. It's just as calm and warm as you can imagine.
Pretty awesome day, isn't it?
And we know how unusual that is, so we're not depending on it to last. This is the reason Bruce loaded up the shotgun.
And on the left are wolf tracks.
Very fresh bear tracks and wolf tracks. We're not really worried about the wolves, but the bears are quite another story. We don't want to compete with them too much for the fishing. So here we are attending to the camp tasks. Bruce just stole that oil from another four-wheeler because he noticed the oil in our four-wheeler was a little low. Just took a little bit, figures they'll never miss it. Being so mechanically minded as he is, with his mechanic soul, aircraft mechanic soul, he checked the oil on the four-wheeler, detected it was a little low, so no time like the present, he says. Yeah, there were some vapors, some oily vapors in there, but he didn't think that'd be enough. I wanted to get the corner of our cabin in this picture to show you how close the mountains are. This is the Wrangell St. Elias Range, part of the Alaska Range. I've seen those mountains from the other side. They certainly are magnificent. So, we go right across. And the Sayou River, which we're going to be fishing, is fed by the Bering Glacier, largest ice field in North America. So those salmon are spawning in glacier melt. And what I've done is just panned over to the right here. As you can see, this is not quite a city, but there are some other camps within hailing distance. We've just returned from one of them, and the people were accommodating enough to let us take some of their water, which was certainly a welcome development. And we ran it back on the four-wheeler, which is also very nice. Sure beats lugging it back on foot.
Well, we just took a pretty long ride on the four-wheeler. We're trying to figure out just where the river is. The Sayou River here is kind of hard to find. We didn't know exactly where to go, so we decided the best way to find the fishing channel is to go and follow the bear tracks. So that's what we're doing. We came across over here through a bunch of this water on the four-wheeler, and now we saw a bunch of salmon jumping right over on that far bank, and we're going to wade over there and not take a chance on going in too deep with the four-wheeler. So we'll be back. And here we are over by the river, and we're walking up here. You can see salmon all over the place surfacing. Let's see here. Dorsal fins all over the place. Fish all over the place. Look at all these salmon up here. Let me see. Let me get a zoom on this. Right here. There we go. These are silver salmon. Thousands and thousands of salmon. Bear tracks all over the place. They are all over. I've never seen so many fish in my life. Salmon everywhere. Looking downriver, it's just a sea of moving fins of those fish coming upriver to spawn. There goes Bob after a school of fish. I don't know what he's doing here. The most unbelievable fishing spot in the world. Bob's got another one on here, just about the first cast was. This seems like a bigger one. These salmon are probably all pretty much the same size because of their age when they come back to spawn. And we'll get a look at it here in a minute. The most salmon we've ever seen anywhere in the world. And Bob's tried quite a few different places over the years. Up near Nome, we had the previous best record for the number of fish and so on, but this is absolutely phenomenal. Just hard to believe. Hard to believe.
It's about the same size, but it's more eggs yet. Silver salmon on a dry fly.
Silver salmon on a dry fly. Who would think, he says. I'm trying to keep an eye out for bear activity. We're following huge bear tracks all over this flat area here. There are just bear tracks everywhere.
Male.
This is a male, he says. Can you get him up so we can get a good look at him, Bob? He's gone. We'll just do a pan around here and show you where we are and what we're doing. There's some snow-capped mountains there. This water comes right out of the glaciers. It's really cold and it's quite clear. He straightened the hook on that fish again. And that's what we're looking at for where we are. I'll go up on this hump of land here a little bit where the bears have been feeding on the fish. And just do a little pan here to show you what it looks like around here. Beautiful country. I'm going to film the quantity of these fish. I don't know if you can see them in the water or not, the shadows of them. There are so many fish in here. It's just unbelievable. Fins coming out of the water every place. Fish all over. Fish all over. These little dark spots in the water are salmon. We'll come back on Bob's scene here. The Sayou River. Best salmon fishing in the world.
Well, we just switched to wet flies, egg-sucking leech, and Bruce made his first cast and tied into one. Whoa! This is a... Now, unfortunately, Bruce is using a 6-weight rod, which is sort of a wand. And, aha!
One egg-sucking leech gone.
All right. We've just been going up and down the beach with a 4-wheel here. Seeing what we can see. I'm going to show you some bear tracks here with Bruce's hand for size comparison. There's Bruce's hand, which is a normal size hand, and there's a bear track right next to it. Oh yeah. His claws are about 3 inches long. The Sayou is a braided river. It breaks off into many channels, between 10 and 20 channels between the mouth where it meets the ocean and the Bering Glacier, which feeds it. But here near the mouth, we're only about a mile or so from the ocean. It's composed of 2 channels, a larger channel and a smaller. This is the smaller of the 2 channels we're looking at now, And what you see are dorsal fins. These are salmon just milling around, wasting time, trying to seduce a member of the opposite sex into spawning with them. You can see the gulls waiting there, looking for salmon eggs, we're told. But here, this is a carcass of a dead salmon which a bear has partially eaten. And this gull is trying to decide whether or not he wants any of that. But Bruce is going to wade into the river upstream a bit, and I'm going to wade into it down here. And he's going to herd salmon toward the camera so you can see just how many salmon there are in this river. I'll be back. So here comes Bruce wading toward me. Perhaps you can see the herd of salmon he has in front of him. And as he approaches me, that large herd will merge with this group of salmon already in the water. And you will see the water come to a boil. Now remember, this is the smaller of the two channels of the Sayou. So there are more salmon in the other channel. I think you can... Yeah. He says they're bumping into his legs. Now we gave up trying to count how many salmon here, but just look at the water boil. This river is teeming with life. Unbelievable. So I think you can readily imagine how hard it is to catch a fish. As a matter of fact, about half the fish that we hook are foul hooks. The hook catches in their flanks or in their bellies or in their dorsal fins. Looks like a hatchery, doesn't it? A fish farm. There they go. They're past us and now they're headed toward the ocean. Just an unbelievable river. The Sayou. Now we so rudely disrupted the day of these salmon, but now I hope you can see them in the water here. And just sort of stacked up here. And when the mood strikes them, the females deposit their eggs and the males promptly fertilize them. This water isn't dirty per se. It has a greenish tinge to it because the glacial silt has been stirred up from their activity of a moment ago. But even when it's undisturbed, it has the glacial silt suspended within it, such that if you're standing in it up to your knees, you can't see your feet. But there I think you can see my shadow, and watch when I move my arm. That will make the salmon move. Even though they're very large, it's instinctive for them. When a gull flies over and casts his shadow on the water, the salmon will bolt out of pure instinct. There's no bird that I can think of this side of a pterodactyl that could be big enough to swoop down and grab one of these 8 to 20 pound salmon in his talons. But that's just instinctive behavior on their part, something they're programmed to do. And down here you can see they're starting to reman their stations where they were before we walked through their pool and disrupted their morning. Well, I'll be back. Here Bruce is going to try his luck with a spinning lure. I do believe he's got one on, wonder of wonders. There it is. Now half the time they get loose before you can get them in, so... Oh, he lost that one. Of course, if you do lose one, you don't have to worry because all you do is cast again and you'll get a strike. Yeah, as Bruce says, the main problem is trying to avoid foul hooking them so you don't catch them by accident. Of course, the Alaska game laws read such that if you do foul hook a salmon, you should let it go. You saw one just try to hit his lure there, and he went to set the hook and pulled it right out of his mouth. Had one and lost it. What we want to do is have Bruce hook one, just to show you how energetic these salmon are. Now, one of the nice things about being up high like this is I was fishing from this very spot yesterday with my fly rod, and you can actually see the salmon hit. In fact, once in a while you'll cast, and as soon as the fly or the lure lands on the water, some especially irritable salmon will come over and whack it. So you'll actually see them take. You may notice here that most of these fish are quite large, but every once in a while you'll see a smaller fish. That's really not a small salmon, but rather a large trout. And the rainbow trout and Dolly Varden trout will hang right in there with the salmon, hoping to get a free meal, which they usually succeed doing, by swooping in at one of the salmon nests almost as soon as the eggs are laid and grabbing a mouthful of salmon eggs. Of course, for their trouble, they might get bit, or even worse, cornered by a larger salmon, which, as you might expect, don't take too kindly to that. But yesterday I caught a nice dolly. I was thinking to myself as I played it, well, this is a pretty small salmon. But in fact, it was a Dolly Varden trout that weighed about 4 pounds. It would hit my lure, thinking it was salmon eggs, because it's meant to simulate that. It's a spoon with a red plastic insert, meant to look like salmon eggs. Okay, Bruce just got this salmon to smack his lure, and I think you can see how bound and determined this salmon is to not want to waste any time associating with humans. Thinks he's fighting for his life, not knowing that Bruce intends to release him. We don't have a refrigerator here at the camp, so all the salmon we've been catching have been catch and release except for 2. I caught one yesterday, which we had for dinner. Yesterday being Wednesday, and then Monday also down at the mouth near the ocean. Caught another, which we had for dinner. Just superb. Bruce fried up some onions in a frying pan. We got those nice and brown and caramelized, and then set those in a plate, and then put the salmon fillets in, seasoned them lightly, and they were just superb. So I can't get salmon much fresher than that. So as you can see, this salmon's sulking at the moment, but Bruce, I'll let him, it's going to take a while, so I'll sign out and then we'll be back when Bruce lands them. Looks like he's ready to land here, but oftentimes you go to set them free and they take off again. Well, we'll see. Maybe he's getting out his pliers. This one is on the small side, but nice and silver, fresh from the ocean. So Bruce is unhooking with the pliers, or trying to.
Yeah, that's a challenge sometimes.
Yeah. This is just sand. It looks very unaesthetic, but this river is a river of sand. Virtually nothing on the bottom except sand, and that's why the salmon like it so much. Ideal spawning conditions. So Bruce is holding the salmon up. Notice how bright and silver she is. Up! Fell off, and she thinks she got away, but he's going to take her for a walk here to make sure she's revived. And there she goes, back to her bedroom.
Is that a, Bob's got a fly going here. Catching a salmon on a fly. You got one on there, Bob? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. These salmon are pretty aggressive when you get a hook in them. They're intent on doing their spawning thing here. Sometimes it takes a bit of time to get them in. Sometimes they come in fairly easy. There's a nice salmon. The battle is not yet over, however. There he goes. He's not quite ready to come in, eh?
Doesn't recognize me for the catch and release fisherman that I am.
There you go. We caught 35 fish here the other day in about 2 hours, which we all released. Except for one for dinner. Still fighting here. This fish is a pretty good sized salmon. They're all running about 30, 32 to 36 inches. Probably weigh in the area of 10 pounds. And because they're all the same age, they've been out to sea for like 5 years. So they're all about the same size, the same age. You actually get you get tired of catching them. You see the fishermen starting to use 2 hands, then you know they're getting tired out, hanging onto the pole, 2 hands fighting these fish. And Bob will get him back in the water here now, and he'll be gone like a shot, and there he goes. One of many.
Right, I just let her take it.
Brought in by ace fly fisherman Bob Demers. Way to go, Bob. You gonna do it again?
Like shooting fish in barrel.
I thought maybe you were tired of that already. The answer to that is no. Look at all the fish in here. Don't know if the camera can pick this up or not, but there are just hundreds of fish in this area of the stream. You see them all over the place. And let's see what happens this time. I lost track of that fly, Bob. There we go. Gee whiz.
Get off.
That one got away.
But that's all right.
But that's all right. So he says. fish all over the place. Seeing lots of gulls and some eagles. Not a lot of eagles this year, but a few. When the gulls fly over and the shadow hits the water, the salmon take off like a shot sometimes. There was a good strike there, but sometimes they strike and miss. Okay, there he is, Bob. Had one right in the jaw there. You got him. You got him. We can see him take that one. The fish and the fisherman. It's quite a challenge to catch a fish of this size on a fly rod. It takes a little bit of time to tire them out and so on, but it sure is fun. You can just watch that fly floating down through and the salmon just attacking it. That's pretty neat. We have caught so many fish here, it's just absolutely unbelievable. Tomorrow we're flying out to the Wanagans, the floating cabins, and we'll do a bunch of filming out there. That'll be interesting to see. They usually get kind of wild when they get into shallow water. This is a female. Oh, this is a male, he says. Mind of his own, yeah, lots of energy. These fish are really fresh. They're just out of the ocean, just a short distance away. We're going to go down there to the outlet of this river into the ocean and give you a good shot of that here in a little bit. There you go. It does actually get tiring hauling in this weight of fish one after the other. They don't like that sand rubbing on their belly, I guess. Really excites them. They really take off usually when they get into shallow water. Okay, let's quit fooling around, Bob. Bring that baby in here, you know. Enough's enough, right? This is what we call a sandblasting zone. You usually end up pulling sand out of your ears after they flop around a few times. And there he is, ready to go back out to do his thing here. They're beautiful fish. They're really, really gorgeous. And there he goes. He's gone. Good job, Bob. Here's another few fish here that are ready for the next event. And if we pan right up around the corner, you can see the fins of the fish all up through here. All around the next corner, just a ribbon of fish. Those are all salmon fins. Right on up through. And this is our background of the Wrangell Mountains, snow-covered mountains. It's a beautiful day here. We've had a perfect week of weather. Just absolute perfect week. No rain, but just a little bit of rain one afternoon.
That's the largest national park in the United States.
And that is the largest national park in the US of A, which is Wrangell Mountain National Park. There again are all the multitude of salmon. It does not make fishing a big challenge, more of the quality of how you hook them and so on, and learning the way that they're feeding and trying to prevent foul hooking. What a beautiful day in Alaska. The Sayoo River, TSIU. Believe it or not, Bob has another salmon on here. Boy, it's your lucky day, Bob. You've caught 3 in the last 5 minutes. What a fisherman. He just has the technique. And there he goes. Whoa! All right.
And the other one's excited.
You can see that they all get pretty excited. Yep, and I think you lost him, did you?
I hope so.
He says, I hope so. Too much work bringing those babies in. No, he's still on. Rats and mice. Well. Oh, he's a wild one. Some are pretty energetic, more so than others. This seems to be one of those that's pretty wild. He isn't quite ready to be released yet, I guess. Sometimes these fish will just spook and they'll just froth the water. All over this area will just be water splashing all over the place. We'll show you a site where Bob's landing this fish. We'll show you what it looks like the other way. We'll go all the way around. I'm going to shade the lens a little bit here with my hand from the sun. The ocean is right out there beyond our view. There is a cabin down there, way down there. These are all the gulls that are waiting to feed on the eggs and so on. All the way down through, you can hear them. We came out here last night in the four-wheeler, and we drove up on top of one of these dunes about 1/4 to bear, which is 8 o'clock. And we sat up there and watched the bear coming out of the woods. They're coming out of the hemlock or pine forest that you see up there. The bear go up there during the day, and in the evening time they come out into this lake. And the lake is shallow. We were up there yesterday, and there's the beginning of the lake. just, it's a little bit hard to see. But we could see the bear running down through that water. They were running and running as fast as could be. We saw 5 of them coming down to various places on this stream and also on the stream of the Sayoo River. This is a glacier over here that is partially responsible for the feeding of the water in this stream. We'll be back. The bounty of the earth. We're actually back to the Sayoo River. There goes a 4-wheeler. This is where some of the outfitters come and bring their people. They bring them in these carts with 4-wheelers. Everybody uses 4-wheelers in this country. Up here are some people that I know from Cordova. And they're doing a shore lunch for everyone here. If the weather is bad, they take them back to camp and they do the lunch there. But being the weather is so incredibly nice, they decided to bring the lunch to the people. Many cans of beer, many turkey legs, sandwiches, all kinds of good stuff. This is the sea off to the left, a little sand spit in between, and this is the actual Sayoo River, the main departure point to the ocean. And if we just do a little left-hand turn here, there's Bob doing a little fishing. He's trying to catch a salmon in this area on fly. And we look right down this way and we'll see that this is where the Sayoo actually enters the sea. And as we get down there in a few minutes, we'll do some filming and show the salmon jumping out in the ocean and then starting their migration upstream. This white water that you see here is actually calm in normal circumstances. And all of the movement of water in this part of the river is caused by salmon migrating upriver. There are some outfitters and people there that are brought in. Up the beach a ways, we just came down from up the beach. A couple, 3 miles, there are some airplanes up there, and where they fly people in from Cordova just for the day to fish. The airplane stays with them with a guide, and then they go back in the evening. It's a common practice. We've got a lot of people with fish on the line here. Right now, a lot of these folks are going to lunch, but the fishing is just incredible. Absolutely unbelievable. Comes a 4-wheeler, the main mode of transportation on this part of the river. I'm just sitting here. Bob wanted me to film catching a salmon on a dry fly. While I was waiting for that to happen, there's so many fish here, but here's something that's interesting in this kind of fishing. Here's 3 guys that came in with somebody from an outfitter, and they're just tired of catching stuff, and they're just sitting around waiting to take a break before they catch some more fish. Just had one of the guys knew there from Cordova just took a bunch of fish into their camp to pack up to take out, fly out to Cordova, where they will vacuum pack them and flash freeze them to send home. And that's the messy side of this kind of a business, is filleting the fish here and taking the plastic boxes of fillets back in for processing. We'll catch you later. The mouth of the Sayoo now, this is where the Sayoo actually dumps into the sea. We got some guys that are fishing. Here's the ocean. And here's where the action is, where the fish are coming in from the ocean. You can see a lot of seagulls are sitting around here waiting for something to eat. You can also see out at sea there are some sea lion or seals And they're out there also waiting for something to catch and eat. Everything is after the salmon. Here's some seals. And there were 3 or 4 right here when we came, and I think we spooked them a little bit and they went back out to sea just a little bit. Sometimes we'll be seeing salmon. There's the seal right there. They get a lot of salmon where they're all here for the same reason. We'll just leave this on here for a minute and see what happens. Right at the mouth of the Sayou River. There's a whole bunch of seals right there. Seals on the Sayou. This salmon run began about the middle of August, and they were just telling us that the ratio of male to female right now is 7 males and 3 females. When the ratio becomes 50-50, the run will be at its peak. And they'll expect that to happen within the next maybe week or so. It's hard to say depending on the weather and the amount of rainfall to bring the water level of this stream up and down. Another beautiful day in Alaska. About 70 degrees, maybe 65, no wind, clear skies, beautiful day. We're on the Sayou Slough here. The Sayou is on up. We came down the down the beach maybe a mile or a mile and a half and crossed this slough. This is not the Sayou, but this is where we were catching the fish this morning. This is the tributary where it comes into the ocean, and this is it right here, and we're coming out to sea again. Bob's going to go down there and do a little casting into the outlet into the sea. And we're going to take a shot panning right around the whole area to give you an idea what we're looking at. There are the snow-capped mountains and things there in the background. And then this is just sand. If we get up on that sand dune there, we'd be able to see the mountains again. Here they're coming into view. They call this the moon with fish, and it does kind of look a little bit like the moon, I guess, never having been there. There were a few seals out here, we just saw 2. There were many seals up above at the Sayou outlet, I don't know why, unless maybe some of the fishermen are injuring fish and losing them and they're coming back out to sea and the seals are getting them. Don't know, it's only a guess. But anyway, not too many seals down here. What a beautiful day. There, a salmon just took a leap there out of the water. Right over Bob's head there. And their salmon numbers that are going up through here are pretty awesome. You can see a certain amount of activity here, fish jumping and so on. Their first taste of fresh water in 5 years. Probably a very exciting moment for salmon, I would imagine. We did see a few larger ones up above that were maybe consistently 36 inches or so, but most of them are running just about 30, 32, 34. They're all about the same size because they're all about the same age. And we'll be back. We're going to take a ride down to Alaska Wilderness Outfitting's new lodge here in a little bit. Take a look at that and do a little filming down there. And we'll be back. Here's an actual shot of the inlet where the ocean is coming in. You'll see now and then a salmon jumps out of the water here. There's one right there. Kind of interesting to watch the surf as it comes into the slough. We followed this slough upriver about probably a couple of miles where we were catching all those fish and filming earlier today. If you look out to sea, you can see there are quite a few salmon jumping way out there at times. See the rooster tails of the fish. In and out of this channel, bringing in a new wave of fish and bringing out some fresh water that's telling the salmon where to go. They find these places by scent, and these should be the actual fish that were hatched in this river system 5 years ago. This is our trusty four-wheeler. It's really been a wonderful thing to have. We got our bear protection there on the rack, and this is how we get around on the sand dunes and all that sort of thing here. Really nice four-wheel drive four-wheeler, works beautifully. Well, we just got back from our fishing for today. Back to our cabin here. There's a plane going over. We just talked to some people that are just flying out, going back to Cordova. And we'll take you inside and give you an idea what this the palace looks like here. It's kind of a nice view over the outhouse right there of the mountains. And out in this area is where we've been doing a lot of the fishing. I've got some poles set here in the ground. There are 3 or 4 of them, 5 or 6 of them altogether. And this cabin was built around a wolf research center. And they put those lines up for, those poles up for an antenna to send out signals on the wolf research project. Here's the inside of the cabin. Bob's at the kitchen here. There's the oil stove that doesn't work. Leaked oil all over the floor. A couple of sleeping bags there and bunks. The kitchen table. And over on this side is the food storage section. And there's the stove. We used that last night for heat. And there's our light source up here on top. There it is. And the window that is opaque, so you can't really see anything outside. We'll go out, yes, translucent. Go up on top of the hill and take a panoramic shot of the whole area. Be back in a minute. Over up on the hill, there's the cabin where it's situated. This area out here is where we've been doing a lot of the fishing. All the bears live in wooded areas up here during the night, or during the day, and come down during the night to feed. Last night we went right out here on the river, and we parked on top of one of these hills on the four-wheeler and watched the bears come out. We saw 5 or 6. Going right around, I'll give you an idea. The ocean's right off there over that mound. Can't see it quite from here. Here's like an abandoned cabin up here. And the mountains. And there's a camp down there. Not exactly overcrowded. And that's it. Interesting place. The moon with fish.
Here we are by the fading light of the late evening. Inside
light of evening.
Yes. Ooh, get over in the sun there, Bruce. You just faded on me.
Really?
Yeah, what a difference that makes. Oh,
Right.
This is our last night on the Sayou. I'm going to try to keep warm.
Show them the stove.
Yeah, there's the defunct, the stove that wasn't.
Stove that didn't make the grade.
Yeah. Inside of the camp house is a little less neat than we arrived, but we'll tidy it up later. I'm going to go outside and look at the sun. It's just hanging just above the horizon here. And here we have a few wispy clouds partially obscuring the top of those peaks. The Wrangell St. Elias range. And panning over to the west, sunset is almost upon us. Some cirrus clouds there, which Bruce thinks might bring us some harsher weather tomorrow, but boy, we couldn't have asked for better weather. Just glorious, crystalline days. I'll be back.
This might be our plane coming in on a Friday morning. Cessna 206. Gonna fly us back to Cordova. And I believe that's it. If I can find them here. There he is. Land right on the beach, right on the sand. Pull right up in front of the cabin here is what they do. Takes us about an hour to fly back to Cordova. Here comes Bob on the four-wheeler. Of the camp here. Got the four-wheeler put away. Get out of the sun. Shut the door on another chapter. It's got a very sophisticated lock on it. Yep. And that's it. All locked up. Here we go. Well, that wasn't our airplane. The one just like it should be here in a few minutes. But we'll watch this one take off. Right off the sand here. There's a camp right around the corner up in that valley. And away they go.
Here comes a fisherman. Hope he doesn't get run over.
And here comes a fisherman, Bob says.
That water is ugly.
Yeah, yeah. There's
Well, there's our plane coming in.
cutthroat fishing and
Oh, yeah?
yeah, really good cutthroat, native cutthroat.
Dollies? Too?
I'd imagine there's dollies up there.
How big do the cutthroats get?
Oh, they like this.
Wow.
Here's,
Nice.
here's Harold, the local resident movie star of the Sayou, and Gus, trusty dog Gus. And here comes our aeroplane.
Say hi, Mom.
Well, he didn't land on that pass. He must be having trouble, Bob.
You want to fly with him?
Yeah, I sure don't want to walk back.
I like to hear these people, you know, and they, oh man, look at him, he missed the runway.
Not that runway.
Yeah, the wrong one, this one over here. This is what, Jared? Is that his name, Bob?
Jared, yeah.
Probably Jared. Fat Pat.
Fat Pat?
Yeah. That could be Terry. Get that sand, dude. Pull her up.
Oh, it's gonna end, this is it. Crash scene. Oh, I guess we're gonna be alright. 206 Cessna. Oh, disappeared, went underground. And there we go. Bring that plane in here. We'll zip on up to Cordova. Stay overnight up there with a friend's house. Then we'll head on back to the Wanigans tomorrow. We'll be flying out there tomorrow on floats. Catch you later. loading the airplane. There's a Beaver on floats. That's one of my favorite airplanes. I've flown those. This is a Cessna 206 that we just came back in. You got a good chance to see some country on the way up. Beautiful day in Cordova. Perfect. Yeah, we go left down. Yeah. I don't know if their road there goes down in there or not. Yep. Like right here. Boy, they're a workhorse, aren't they? They're good ones.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. That's your brother-in-law out of the site.
Yeah.
The 206. You get the otter back in the air? Get the starter back in it?
Still annoyed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, buckle up. We're ready to roll.
All right. Belted up and ready. spoil of these airplanes. Maybe one day, I don't know. We'll see. I've had 49, but I never had a beaver yet. I got my A&P since I saw you last, I guess.
Oh, yeah?
Working on my AA. Still doing a bunch of flying.
Yeah.
You're part 135 now, right?
Yeah.
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 EFR 135.
That's it.
And I've been flying a Navajo 135. I love those things. They're the most beautiful workhorse up here in the north. Good old de Havilland Beaver on floats. And he's out of here, and this will be our floating Wanigan camp. There's Bob up there. And this is what it looks like. It's on the bay. Everything is floating. We got boats, motors, fishing gear. This is our freight here. We'll unload that and get it inside. And this is the life on a Wanigan. Beautiful spot. We'll go right on inside with it here and give you a look at inside of the Wanigan. It has limited electricity for the radio. It has a nice living room area here. And a kitchen with a propane fridge, sink, stove, hot water, limited hot water with a pump. There's a bunk room upstairs for sleeping. This is the bathroom. This is one of the bedrooms. And this is another bedroom. There's a deck out back here with we'll go right out there with a barbecue on there. So this is a little back porch deal here. There's some of the mooring cables that go over to the trees. You can see where it's anchored right there in the trees. That's how they anchor these in place. So just an idea of what it's like on a Wanigan. I don't see the barbecue he was talking about. We'll have to find that. Maybe it's around the side here or something. Oh, Bob says so up front. This is the water system. Comes off the eaves troughs and goes on into water storage. So we'll go back through and finish up this tape here. What are these 2-hour tapes, Bob? Is this a 2-hour tape, do you know?
I'm sorry?
Is this a 2-hour tape?
Yes.
Okay, we're almost, well, in fact, we're out right now, so that's 2 hours.
Oh, no.
Oh, it isn't. You didn't reset it. Okay. And there's some freight. Here's the boats, 2 of them. Propane, gasoline.
1 day supply of beer for Bruce.
1 day supply of beer for me, 1 case.
Well, maybe almost a day.
There's a barbecue. There's fresh water. There's halibut fishing gear supplied and nets. We have a kayak underneath the floating deck here if you'd like to use that. And we can go in and out of several of these bays fishing for freshwater trout and things. And the salmon will be migrating from here up to those streams as well. We passed a freshwater lake on the way in, and we'll be using that as well. I'll be hiking up there and getting some cutthroat trout. And as things develop and we get used to stuff around here, we'll be back. Give you more of an idea of what's happening. So we'll catch you later. Just took my cell phone out and called Jess at home. She's doing good. and it was kind of interesting to see that the cell phone actually worked here. I'm going to do a 360 around this bay. We are the only people in the bay. There are many streams and many bays in the area. We can go from this one around the Horn to many other bays, and then there are streams that come in to each one of them. So we have all kinds of fishing possibilities. Someone caught a 250-pound halibut right off this very floating camp here recently. So that's available as well. Halibut fishing. Bob was saying halibut are selling for $21 a pound in California, and so we may try to do some of that. A lot of the fishing trips from here will be taking the boat and then going to the rivers and hiking up the rivers to freshwater lakes and things of that sort. And as things happen, we'll be back. See ya. Well, it's getting to be twilight time. First evening on the Wanigans, we have the gas lights going to warm things up a little bit. We also have a propane heater here that is warming things up. Bob was just out on the dock here, or the deck or whatever, looking at a couple of sea otters that are out there swimming around. We were fishing for salmon. We got some salmon earlier up one of the rivers nearby. And then we were fishing for halibut. We didn't do any good catching halibut. But it's nice and warm in here and very enjoyable. Had a nice dinner and we're just kind of relaxing and snacking on potato chips and whatever. And here we are in the evening. It's nearly 9 o'clock. First day in the Wanigan. Good day. See ya.
So here we are about to experience our first Wanigan sunrise. Bruce says we had a little rain last night for change. And just a moment ago I tried to take a picture of a bald eagle that hangs around here, but he objected to having his picture taken. The minute I aimed the camera at him, he took off and circled around behind the cabin so I couldn't see him, and that was that. Be back. Let's see, we went back up to the foot of the bay here, the head of the bay. Went to Simpson Creek and he caught our limited salmon. Returned and I filleted them. We just finished a delicious steak dinner a little while ago. Now Bruce is going to try out the kayak for the first time. It's been lurking under the deck.
Bob has challenged me.
He's trying to talk me into doing it when he comes back, but it's not going to work.
When I come back, he's going to go.
I'm just going to film him as he paddles off. As you'll notice, it's quite calm right now. They predicted today was going to be rainy. It was sunny all day, just a beautiful day, just gorgeous, warm sun, good little breeze in the afternoon, but it's calmed back down as you can see. This landmass to our left is an island, according to our U.S. Geological Survey map. Bruce has been openly skeptical about that since we got here, so now he's going to see for himself for the first time by circumnavigating the island. He does a lot of kayaking back home in Pennsylvania, so he's an accomplished kayaker. And I'll be back. So here's Brucey preparing to come aboard. There he goes.
Trying to enjoy some peace and solitude here.
Sorry about the engine noise.
Following me around.
There's a sailboat down there. The name on her prow says Clementine, Eagle River, Alaska. From the Eagle River, it's inland. about 20 miles north of Anchorage. She's anchored there, looks like, for the night. And Bruce is already almost out of sight. There he goes.